Takara with 2020 the magazine, and I'm sitting here with one of the pillars in my community. And I feel proud to say that because you're not old, and I can say that you're a pillar. But I'm here today with Mr. RobWylie. Of course, the people in South Carolina know you, and I'm sure elsewhere too. But can you give us a brief introduction of who you are?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Um, Appreciate the compliments. But like you said, I'm Robert Wiley, aka Darius Wiley online, D Wiley. Uh, that's basically it. I don't really I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, I feel, and just trying to be genuine with what I do in the community, with the kids as well, outside of what I do with the kids, or also business wise. So, some things, I guess. I'm founder of Good Kids, Growth of Oz Endowed Kids, where we mentor youth through sports and creative arts. That's kind of my baby, so I like to talk about that outside of other things that I do. But that's basically it. Just here doing what I'm supposed to do. So.
Okay. Well, tell me this as a Black man today in the climate of society today, in the midst of you being right here in Columbia, we had the protests, we had what the police force is calling now riots and violent protesting, but you were there. I saw your videos. I've been keeping up with the movement through you more than anything. But tell me how you're feeling and what your thoughts are today.
Oh man, it's the feeling is basically, when something crazy like that happened with what happened with George Floyd, it kind of you get a feeling over you. You know what I'm saying? It's the same feeling that happened when it happened, because that's nothing new. You get what I'm saying? It's been going on before I got here, and hopefully it stops. After I'm gone. And hopefully it stops now. But the countless times of situations where police has killed a black man and it's caught on camera. So like every time I watch it, the same feeling, goes over my body. So I mean, but at some certain point, man, enough is enough.
Right.
This isn't the first time, as far as with the protesting and the riot, that it happened. I think it's the first time for a certain generation, more the younger generation, to kind of to step up and protest, because I always feel that it is the young that leads it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, I'm not old, I'm only 37, but sometimes we got to get out the way and let them lead it. You get what I'm saying? And let them voice their opinions. And that what been going on. Like you say, I was there. I was there. What was that, Saturday? Um, I was more incognito when they was doing the march or whatever at the state house. I just blended in, but I definitely was there doing the at the police department with that protest. Um, the point of me going was really to observe. You get what I'm saying? Like just making sure that the youth knew what they was doing, or they was aware of their surroundings. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because it was different. It was different from any march or protest that we've done in the past. And what I mean by that, it wasn't just us. You get what I'm saying? It
Okay.
wasn't just black folks out there. It was white, Chinese, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. I seen everything, but on top of that, I seen a lot of uh, divergence in there. You get what I'm saying? Agitators on a whole different level. And the Klan was there. Seen them. You get what I'm saying? I seen some other chemistries up in there that made it a different protest than I ever been to. You get what I'm saying? So to go back to what you were saying, how do I feel about everything? Um, I feel hurt. You get what I'm saying? I still feel charged up, ready to do stuff, but understanding now, I personally got to do it in a different light. You get what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, I can get out there and get rowdy too. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But like I say, it's the same thing. So we got to figure out how to push buttons on change as far as with the people that could do it. You get what I'm saying? So I think my position right now is to make sure that I get with certain people and we get in front of certain people and we get certain demands done. You get what I'm saying? I think that's where we at right now, and that's kind of how I feel about the situation. Cause like we say, it's nothing new. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's nothing. It's something that's old. And what I mean by old, sick and tired of it. You get what I'm saying? George Floyd was what, one of 6 or 7 in the past 2 months. You get what I'm saying? Even we had a situation here locally. So it's just making sure not to move on so much on our emotions and feelings. You know what I'm saying? And let's start getting stuff accomplished. You're gonna have. I do not condemn the protesters or the rioters. The reason I say that is because it's just like any other situation. You keep getting pushed so much, eventually somebody gonna swing. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I look at it as it had to happen, and it's just not happening here. It's happening all over the world
Right. Right.
because it's several cities in the country that's riding and getting crazy, and it's several cities outside of the country that's seeing it and hearing it. You get what I'm saying? So um where I'm at right now, I ain't in the 20s. Like when I was in my 20s, we was out there ready to bang. uh I'm not there now. Now I understand we got to have change through making somebody force their hand and strike that pen to change certain weight laws and certain cultures and certain departments, and and then in politics as well, for
Right.
we could see change. You get what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the situation totally different, but definitely still hurt, definitely still on fire. Just trying to figure out how not to move with my emotions and see how could we really get change done. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So some of this, do you feel threatened when you step outside of your?
Um, I don't. You said, do I feel? Say that.
Do
Say
you
it again.
feel threatened? Is there a
Um,
level of fear that you have?
nah, I don't. The reason I don't have a fear is because I was raised a totally different way. And what I mean by that, I'm prepared. You get what I'm saying? Understanding what to say, how to say, and how to move when
Right.
certain situations come towards me. But what I'm more afraid of is for my youth
Mhm.
and for other people in my community. You get what I'm saying? Um, because even during that protest, like I say, they wasn't disciplined enough where you can't have an agitated in the crowd, right? To stir something up, and now you got chaos. You get what I'm saying? So it's,
Right.
it's, it's no discipline. And when I seen it, because to be honest, we have to be truthful. It really was our babies out there. The average age I seen protesters was probably between 19 and 23.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? I didn't see a lot of us grown men, my age and older, out there showing these babies how to move. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that hurt more than anything because I thought that was a problem. You know? So as far as me, nah, I don't feel threatened. I'm always aware of my surroundings, and I've been taught on how to move in certain situations. But I am on my P's and Q's, and that's a problem. I'm not threatened, but I
Hmm.
don't feel comfortable. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? I
Right.
don't feel comfortable, and to me, that's a problem. I should never have to go nowhere and not feel comfortable. So
You're absolutely right. And to be transparent, I had that feeling just last evening. I was walking through my community, and I live in a community that's on a golf course. So it's not like it's by no means considered the hood or anything like that.
yes,
But I was walking just for exercise, and there was a white lady that came in my path with her dog. And I noticed she put like distance between us. And in my mind, I'm thinking, let me get back closer to my building because I don't want to put myself in a situation for her to say that she feels threatened because now that's a whole scenario. And I was thinking about it last night and I said, that's crazy that I even have to have that thought. It's
yeah,
crazy that that's the climate of society today, and especially with us being in the South. But one thing I want to point out you said was, and I noticed you said this on social media too, the lack of presence from Black men. Why do you think that's the case?
uh, man, it's a ton of reasons. It's a lot of reasons, common denominators towards it. I'm not going. A lot. You get to a certain age. I would say this. You get to a certain age where you tired. You get what I'm saying? I think black men have a lot of strengths on them. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of them don't know how to handle it. A lot of them don't know how to respond to it. And a lot of them do what the average do, and they say, bump it. I'm going to take care of mine in my little area, my kids, my household, and they go from there. And to me, I always thought that was a problem. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When I think of men, especially black men, I look at us as warriors. We the protectors. One thing about our women, y'all fire. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a lot of spunk about yourselves. Y'all got that energy. Y'all will buck first. But the problem is y'all supposed to finish it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Mm.
but but a lot of men has been derailed by a lot of things that comes with being a black man systematically. You get what I'm saying? Um, we don't physically get beat down a lot, but we mentally get beat down a lot. You get what I'm saying? We got it's a lot of inner fighting, community wise. You know what I'm saying, between black men, black women, black men, kids, and you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of issues. So I think that the base of trying to handle that stuff, or the feeling, they just don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying that for years. I don't think that it's enough for us involved. And we in a fight with each other. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's a lot of black men got egos. If they not the leaders, they don't want to rock with it. They ain't come up with the idea. They don't want to rock with it. I think um, from a community standpoint, it's culturally we adopted some of those ways that
Mm.
I feel that we got to figure out how to break that. You know what I'm saying? We got to do more coming together. We got to start embracing each other more and supporting each other more. And I think when issues like this come out, we'll stand side by side more. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is. But it is a lot of us out here. I just think that we're not together. We're not on one accord. So I've been saying that a lot. We got to get on one accord. We ain't gotta we ain't gotta like each other, but we gotta be on one accord, same agenda, same core values as a
Right.
community, as black men. You know what I'm saying? When the alarm go off, like a fire drill in school. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Everybody don't be on the same wavelength, but when they hear that alarm, everybody got the same routine to get out of harm's way.
Right.
So I just think that's kind of where we gotta go. We gotta figure out when that alarm go off, you know what I'm saying, we able to organize and get on the same routine. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why, I think that's why. One thing that I didn't like in the midst of all this stuff, from a community standpoint, I seen a lot of infighting. You know what I'm saying? So when I see that, I see confusion. You know what I'm saying? When people
Right.
point fingers and all, it's confusion. And I just think that's what it is. I think it's a lot out here that want to do stuff. I just think we don't have a solid direction. That's it.
So how do we work all together? Because I feel like personally, the alarm is sound. So
Oh
how
yeah.
do we all get on that one accord?
Man, to me, I always been saying, like, from a community, like, we gotta have an unspoken core value. You get what I'm saying? Like an unspoken thing with clubs, get there before 12 is you in there free. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an unspoken thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta have like some type of core values amongst each other on how we treat each other, how we patronize each other, um, how we help out each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta have some type of core value within a community. And it could start on how we treat each other. And what I meant by that is, like, when we got issues. You know what I'm saying? We adopted a culture within our culture where it's okay for us to kill each other. You get what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people say, "Well, we don't want to talk about black on black." No, we're not talking about that. But when it's time to go to war, right? I gotta make sure that soldier next to me, I ain't got an issue with, right? Because
Right.
if me and him had an issue a week ago, how I'ma trust him? So now my focus ain't on the real problem. You get what I'm saying? Just because we do it, that don't mean we should do it. Like, we gotta have some type of core values. Obviously, people gonna have problems. Brothers and sisters, they always have problems, and they fight and they love each other. So sometimes we might have to bang it out. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, man, we got to understand that we love each other first. We take care of each other first, and we don't harm each other. That's a no. And I ain't just talking about just that killing stuff. On all types of stuff. We don't get over on each other. We don't rape our sisters. We don't set out. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff from a community culture within our community that we adopted. The reason I'm saying it's adopted because I feel that most of the stuff that we accept is given to us from the music, right? Also, sometimes how we dress, but definitely that music is banged in our heads, and the ones that make decisions don't look nothing like us. You get what I'm saying?
You're
For us
right.
to hear it. So, like, the adopted stuff the adopted culture that we're accepting, we gotta reformulate that and make it beneficial to us, even from business practices. I hate hearing people saying they have bad experiences at black businesses. That's a lie.
I
You know
feel
what I'm saying?
that.
Probably 85, 90% of the business I do, if it got to do eating, lawn care, buying something, it's from a black business. You get what I'm saying? And I don't complain.
Right.
So certain myths that we talk about that we accept in our community too, we got to cut out. You know what I'm saying? Because we hurting ourselves. So I just think that for a lot of stuff to change, we have to come up with some type of community core values that we got to live by. So that's really it.
I agree with you. And you made a statement. You said the decision makers aren't looking like us. I think that for me, that is a driving force in us starting to come about with the change. I was talking to a guy yesterday and he was telling me, I don't want to misquote, but he said something to the effect of there was a mayor or some elected official, it was either a mayor or a prosecutor, um, somewhere further south, maybe Alabama, who made the comment that they wished all of these protesters would get the coronavirus and die. The thing that stood out most to me about him even telling me that's somebody in an elected position.
Yeah.
That means there was either a lack of presence from our community when it came time to vote, or they were just in an area that wasn't heavily populated by us to have someone in an elected position who would say something like that. What is your take on getting the youth out in this election? Even this, we got election coming up, what, next week or this weekend?
Yeah.
Here in South Carolina. Like, what is your take on how to get them to understand the importance of that?
It's important. You know, I raised a question the other day, like, everybody saying let's vote. My thing is, well, who the hell we voting for? And a lot of people took it wrong. I think they took it like, well, what you mean don't vote? No, I never said don't vote. I said who we voting for. Because a lot of people, they say, well, you don't supposed to share with who you voting with. Nah, you do. Because we got to be on one accord.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So my thing was like, who the hell are we voting for? Now, if we know who we voting for, once they get in, we got to hold their feet to the fight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of confusion with that particular part. I know, I've been involved in a couple of folks running, and they was good people, but they get derailed by our own because they feel that so and so need to be here, so and so need to stay there. It was one situation where we had a young brother running for city council, right? And this why I'm talking about the confusion on voting and confusion in the community. Um, and I heard some elders say, "Man, you good. The only problem is you too young." I'm like, huh? So
Wow.
you would rather, what I'm saying? You would rather go vote or keep what's in there because you feel he's not old enough. So to me, that was a disconnect. So when we start talking about voting, we got to start talking about how we don't even agree from a community standpoint on how to vote and who to vote for. So that's why I was asking that. So when you talk about that, I think it is important to vote. Now, the only thing is, whoever we vote in, it's important that we hold their feet to the fire and they come through on their promises.
Absolutely.
Because I know tons of good people I felt was good that got in there. Once they got in there, you know what I'm saying, they got swayed. And it's easy to get swayed because think about it. If you're an average person, let's talk politics. You going into politics, they only get paid a couple of bucks anyway, right? So
Right.
9 out of 10, you got your position. You probably got to leave your job, right? So you got your position. You might make what they do like 12,000 or something like that, 10,000 a year for being a politician. So what's holding them back is okay. What they ain't gonna talk their constituents about is those backdoor deals, them business deals, those real estate deals that's gonna keep them afloat. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody on that board could got your livelihood in their hands, say, hey, listen, I know what you came up here for, but hey, if you're trying to make this money, get this property, or survive, you need to vote my way. You get what I'm saying? So now, you that $30,000 a year job you left to make 12,000 to be elected official, and now I got 100 or 200,000 you could make if you vote my way. You get what I'm saying? So nobody's talking about all that stuff on keeping these people to make these promises once they get in, because it's a lot of stuff that goes down from a political standpoint that they're not even talking about. So I think we should vote, but who the hell we voting for? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna stay true to their agenda and to the cause that they in there for? That's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? But I do think the younger generation do need to vote. We just need to know who we voting for. So.
And who's educating the younger generation on who to vote for, how to vote?
Bingo, bingo, and that's the disconnect, right? And that goes back to the core values of from a community standpoint of especially us men being involved and pointing them in the direction or bringing certain candidates to the forefront, right? To have these particular meetings, and we ain't talking about coming to the community having a goddamn party or a fish fry. We
Right.
ain't talking about that shit. We talking about
Or
a
showing up
real.
to the church on Sunday shaking hands.
We not talking about that. We talking about a real meeting, pen and pad, with our demands, right? With what we expect out of you. Not demands, cause they work for us. Cause we could say demands.
Right.
What we expecting for you to do for the community, right? It should be like a quarterly thing. You get in there, good. You got 3 months. If we got 10 things, you got at least have two or three of them things rolling, right? It should be like a check-in every 3 months with the community. For we go back and say, hey man, this brother, this sister doing what they supposed to do. They keeping stuff in line. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's part of the values. Like, and that's systems we got to do. Cause I've been plenty of town hall meetings in different neighborhoods, and politicians up there shucking and jiving. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm.
want to clap, hug babies, and serve tea and shit. And that's the problem. So like, I mean, and the stuff I'm talking about is almost like it got to happen over time. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
get comfortable, we get out of the loop, and we forget. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I can't say that I'm at fault to that for some things. You get what I'm saying? I'm still doing the work, but I'm only doing the work for a minority group of people, of kids. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I have to remember, like, oh, you got to get back and just check and make sure things right for everybody from what I can do. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that goes to everybody. You kind of get comfortable. You think things good. In reality, it don't be good. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of get out of the loop. And a lot of people don't go back and check and just connect with folks. And that's what need to be done. So.
I think that we can end it there, just the whole connection piece. You
Yeah.
said just now it takes time. And when I spoke with comedian Timmy Tim the other day, he said, you cannot eat from a garden that was planted this morning.
Facts. Facts.
So the mindset is there. And I'm so honored. Like, you don't even understand, just to be able to have this candid dialogue with Black men. I love y'all.
Ah,
I love Black men.
thank you.
And I'm going to do my part to at least connect the men that I'm speaking with, because y'all all are saying the same thing. And that's what I feel like our youth need to see. They need to see
Yeah.
y'all coming together so that they'll know it's okay to come together. It's okay to be on the same page. It's okay, even if you're not from the same hood, it's still okay to be together.
Facts.
Because ultimately, if we don't do it for us, We can't convince them to do it for us.
Agreed. I agree with you, sister. And I definitely, I'm honored to even be on here. We appreciate you, and I appreciate you to the fullest. So, you keep up the good work too. Because on one thing, that's a fact. As long as y'all keep our feet to the fire, we got to keep, hopping over. So I'm with it. I'm with
That's
it.
all right. Tell everybody where they can follow you. Where can they find out more information about Good Kids too?
Oh, y'all can go to goodkidsworld.org. We got some stuff up there. Y'all can follow me on social media. On Facebook is Darius Wiley, spelled totally different, but Robert Wiley spelled the right way. You can find me as well. I got more thought-provoking things on that page. It's Robert Wiley, Wylie. A lot of thought-provoking things. Um, our basketball organization, Team Unleashed South Carolina. You go to our page, teamusc.org, and see what we're doing with the kids on the sports side. You can check us out there. You can check us out on Instagram as well under Team Unleashed South Carolina. And that's it. Just catch me around the city. I'm not the person that's just on the internet. Like I'm everywhere, truthfully. You just have to catch up with me. So that's basically it.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today. Everybody will have a chance to take a look at this video, hear what it is that you have to say as a Black man, and then please, everybody follow, support. This is for our community. So
All
thank you again for your time.
right, thank you.
I'm going to stop the recording.
That was straight.
Okay, bet.